I want to talk to you about the new
Fujifilm X-M5, a brand new hybrid content creator style camera from Fujifilm.
My name is Andrew. Welcome to a Lensrentals first look. This interchangeable X-mount series camera is designed really to help bridge the gap for creators who are used to creating on their phone, but want the versatility and honestly the awesome features
that Fujifilm cameras have to offer.
We're going to cover a lot, and while I can't necessarily go into full detail on everything, I do want to say that my time with this camera over the weekend in Vegas was phenomenal. I put it to the test. I spent a ton of time with it, figuring out its quirks, figuring out the things that I liked, and I want to break it all down for you today.
On top of Fujifilm sending us the X-M5 for early review and first look, they also sent us their brand new zoom lens, the XC15 to 45mm f3.5 to f5.6.
I want to make sure that we disclose that they sent it to us because as a rental house, our goal is to make sure that we're getting you the best gear possible to help you achieve your creative vision, whether that be for content creation, filmmaking, photography, whatever it may be. It's our goal to make sure the gear that we're picking up is right for you. And the best way to do that is to put it through its paces. Now, looking at the X-M5, it's definitely tiny, almost a little too tiny. My hands are kind of chunky and massive, and so I was worried that the feel and the form factor was gonna feel off walking around with this camera, but to be honest with you, it's nice and light. With this kit lens, it's still super light, so even holding it casually like this is easy. I would recommend using a wrist strap with this camera to just ensure that if you're walking around and you don't necessarily want to be holding the camera the entire time, you can let it dangle. Now, I often go strapless, but that's just me. Now, this camera is really geared towards video and content creators, but don't get it twisted. It can still take awesome photos. Because this is an early release camera, I didn't know if my computer would be able to talk to the RAW file. So what I ended up doing was going with the setting RAW and fine or normal quality. So that way I was able to take JPEGs and RAWs at the same time, which is a lovely option to have. Looking at these photos, a majority of them were taken with the 15 to 45mm lens.
The XC15 to 45 is a great lens, and don't let the variable aperture get in your head. It's sharp, it's clean, and it gets you good images. And to be honest, I don't think any of us doubted if Fujifilm was going to be able to crush the photo game.
So now let's talk about video and content creation.
What you're looking at right now is footage that we filmed in Vegas with the Fujifilm X-M5. And I want to make sure that I note a few things. All of the vertical images you're seeing were actually shot in Fujifilm's new vlog mode. Vlog mode takes the full 6.2K sensor and auto crops it so that way you don't have to turn your camera vertical and you can always know where your subject is supposed to be. This setting is going to be incredibly important for creators on the go. You can actually set it up to have a timed mode where you can utilize 60 seconds, 30 seconds, or 15 seconds, or you can simply use it without. Either way, this is a nice bonus to have, especially when you have your camera on a tripod. You can keep it horizontal and get the shots you want.
And speaking of video modes, I want to hit on this really quick because this camera can shoot in 6K. That's awesome. Like, that's impressive. 6K, 4K, Full HD. It has a super slow-mo mode, which is really nice as well. And you can shoot in f-log. So they really put some nice, incredible features in this camera. And it reminds me of how they treated the X106. They put a lot of nice features in that camera as well. I think it's becoming more understood that just because it's a small camera, in order to compete with our phones, in order to show people that there are better ways to create content and get higher quality, you've got to really pump these things full of awesome features.
And just in case any of you are still on the fence that the Fujifilm X-M5 can output beautiful images, I wanted to go ahead and show you a comparison next to Fujifilm's X-T5. There will be some variations in the image, that's to be expected. But I have to say this, the Fujifilm X-M5 really met all of my expectations and output a beautiful 6K image. At the end of the day, Fujifilm makes fun cameras. There's not much else to it. And this camera will level up with you as you grow as a creator. This would go in my camera bag if I am doing a minimal setup. I don't want any big external mics. I don't have any rigging, anything like that. If I am just run and gun, quick, dirty, in my pocket, slap the lens on and go,
this is what I'm utilizing, which is becoming my preference more and more as I go. Definitely a cool B cam for travel vloggers or content creators who do a lot of just kind of out in the field stuff. I am not bringing this camera to a gig on set unless I'm doing just like stills, but if that was the case, I got the X-M5 that I could rent and pick up. This is a camera that knows where it belongs and who it's for. It's not trying to overstep any boundaries or claim that it's going to take the throne of a beloved camera like the X-M5, but it is saying, hey, I'm here, I've got some great specs, and I'm tiny, and that's nice to have. And that's all I have to say about the X-M5. I enjoyed it. If you have any more questions, leave them down below. And until the next time, I'll see you real soon.